Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis, which is brought to you by LawSeco. So, today we have only one major article that is coming from the Hindu, and the title of this article is Promised Free Vehicles, Funds, It's All Fake. So, basically, this is a very important article today, and that was the very reason why we have picked it up, since it talks about various fake government schemes that have come to the core, they have come forward. From the last few days, and what are these schemes and what is the procedure that these schemes follow, and how can we save ourselves from these schemes, these fake schemes for that matter, has been discussed in this article. And for the second thing, we have the news and flash, which discusses the small and crisp news points that are more important for a prelims exam. Before that, let's have a look at the LawSeco courses that we have for you. So we have the Lord of the courses, that is the Judiciary Test Prep course. So if you are also preparing for Judicial Services exam, you can definitely have a look at it. The link to this course is available in the description box below. And also, once you go and search for that link, you also can find free study material on the landing page, which you can download for yourself. Then we have various other courses also, like for CLAT, All India Bar Exam, etc. SEBI as well as RBI, so you can definitely have a look at them. So this is the MCQ that we have for the day. Swamitva scheme has been launched by, so this is the name of the scheme. So which ministry of the union has launched this? First, Union Ministry of Rural Development. Second, Union Ministry of Panchayati Raj. Third, Union Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Or fourth, Union Ministry of Urban Development. So if you know the right answer to this question, do put it down in the comment section below. Then let's see that what is a descriptive question for the day. The problem of fake schemes has become more widespread during the pandemic. What are the steps that can be taken for curbing this problem? Discuss. So once we are done with today's article, major one, then you'll definitely be able to understand as to what is the context of this question. Do write it down, as answer writing is a very important exercise when it comes to competitive exams like judicial services. With this, let's start with the first article, which talks about the problem of fake news. So the problem of fake schemes, the fake government schemes, has become more widespread during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it is aimed not only at harvesting the personal data of the people, but also duping them financially. Now, basically what happens is, like, just take a very simple example. For example, a phone call comes to us, and that the person who talks on the phone says that so-and-so scheme has come for the government, in which you'll be able to get this so-and-so benefit coming from the side of government. For this, we require your mail ID, your phone number, the official phone number that you have attached with your bank account details, so on and so forth. Now, keeping all of this in mind, a general person, like a simple man, he actually thinks that something is actually coming very beneficial towards him, and so he tends to give all of his personal data. Now, in this exercise, not only he gives the access of his personal data to that person, but also he comes vulnerable to be duped financially. That is, there is a high chance that that person, the one who is the fakester, the one who is faking that particular scheme, that fraudster actually uses our bank account details or whatever details we have, and actually takes out or transacts some money out of our account. So all of us know this has been a very common problem these days. Many a times, every now and then, in the newspapers you would find that somebody has been, like, fraud has occurred, and some woman has lost 5 lakh rupees, some people or some men have lost 10 lakh rupees. This is a very general problem that is happening these days. But apart from that, from simple calls and ATM frauds that we see very generally, something that is coming a very, I would call it a very innovative manner, though it would be a very, it is in a negative sense though, but yes, what many people are trying to do, these fraudsters are, they're actually making fake schemes. So there are some government schemes, as we know that there are a number of government schemes, right? But they clone the government schemes, and in a way they make the fake government schemes. They look like the government schemes, they make a complete web page out of it, they make mail IDs or something like that. The names also correspond to similar, they look similar to the ongoing government schemes, but they actually are just fake schemes. So what do they do is that they give fake employment or loan schemes, like for example, provide with us with this and this data of yours, and we'll be providing you the employment, right? Or we'll be giving you loans at just this much of percentage, this and that, like the government is providing loans, so and so. So here in this scheme, victims receive personal or general message informing that they have been selected for a government scheme or some kind of government employment, and then they need to pay some kind of fees as a processing fees. And these fraudsters are so smart that once this fees has been paid, they actually disappear. And I'll share one incident that once a few years back also, I was just generally looking towards some kind of these government websites or some websites for employment things. So I was just having a look at them during my college days at that time. So what happened was that there was this complete advertisement, and it really looked so authentic that we would be providing the people or the models who are looking for so on and so forth in roles in various TV programs, this and that. And they had also put up some fees of 7 or 8 thousand rupees for filling up that form. And trust me, those people, I actually was, we were actually doing a survey kind of a thing, and I got into contact with one of those persons, and he was so, curious to get that money out of our hands, and he was like, you need to get this deposited within this time, that time. So we definitely knew that this is something that they're trying to do a fraud with the people, and we obviously reported that. But this is something they do, that till the time you haven't deposited the money, they'll definitely be at your service. But once you have deposited the money, they just just disappear. Then second, the schemes do not leave any digital trace. Now, because obviously, if they leave a digital trace, it is really easy to track them down, and through our cyber cells, we can get their addresses and various other details. So they are so smart that they use only other means, not other than the digital means. Like in this Gram Vikas Rozgar Yojana, which was a total fake scheme, what they did, that the only mode of communication that they adapted was of the letters. So, the employees had to send the letter, the employers send the letters back, this and that. And there was no email ID, no phone call or anything. So it was really difficult to track them. It was literally not possible to do that. Then thirdly, the schemes are shared through fake website links on social media platforms, WhatsApp messages, YouTube videos, etc. And they actually, look so much alike the government schemes or the government websites, that it is very easy for a normal person to actually fall prey to these kind of schemes. And this actually causes a lot of privacy issue as well. Then there is no proper and quick grievance redressal mechanism. Now, as a general person, now let's understand the situation that once any such kind of a fraud happens with us. Now, what we do is we tend to blame ourselves for this, and we think that we were stupid enough to let this happen to us, and obviously they were wrong, the fraudsters were definitely wrong, but we hardly complain unless it actually involves a matter of lakhs or 2 lakhs or more than that of money. But if it is just for 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, we generally think that okay, fine, we'll be very aware for the next time, but we generally don't tend to complain, because we believe that there is no proper redressal or mechanism or redressal of grievance mechanism that is available, which is also the truth. Because in such cases, only a simple normal complaint is usually filed, an FIR against some unknown person, because obviously you don't know who has duped you, or who has actually done this fraud to you. And that is why this is one of the reasons why it gives these kind of fraudsters a very a heaven like situation, because they know that even if we are caught, even if the person realizes that we are being fraud to him, there is no chance, there is very meager chance that we would be caught or arrested. Now let's understand, which is the most important part of this article today, that what steps can be taken to solve this problem. Firstly, integrated and concerted effort by all stakeholders. Now, by all stakeholders, we mean the government, media, fact checkers, NGOs, and all of us being part of the civil society. So we should all, come in an integrated network, and we should all take steps against it. If the government is able to spot any fraud like this, then the government should take staunch action against it. And even if we, being the people or the common people from the civil society, we should also report such instances at then and there. Second, Centralized government portal. So the authors here, they suggest that we should have a one stop area, one stop shop that we say. So there should be a centralized government portal which should have a toll free number for handling all the public queries, and there itself the people can file complaints. And it says that this government portal should have information about all the schemes of the government, be it coming from the center or the states. All the schemes should be there at one place so that the people do not divert from to different sources for that matter. Thirdly, dedicated policies by social media and technology companies, wherein it should be in line with policies for countering the hate speech. Just like very recently, Facebook also is taking steps against hate speech, and also WhatsApp is also has taken various steps to curb down the WhatsApp forwards that have been very rampant these days. So similar technology and similar steps should be taken by the social media platforms to identify such fraudsters and catch them then and there. And then they should take action against the individuals or groups posting such fake schemes. Fourthly, monitor websites with names similar to the government website. So, anybody can be involved in this issue. So even the government should be taking care of this. Even the NGOs, private stakeholders, or the civil society fact checkers, anybody can be the person. And what we should do is that we should look up to any websites that have very similar names to the government schemes, and we should understand as to what role are they playing. And it is very good. It is actually a very good manner in which these fraudsters can be easily caught. Fifthly, educate the citizens, because obviously even today, once we have also read this article, we have come to know that something like this is actually happening in the society. So now we'll be obviously more aware of, while investing our personal data or even money into any schemes. So we should print, broadcast advertisements about the genuine schemes, and also simultaneously we should alert the people about fake schemes or the fake news. So it should be the duty of the government as well that it should make people aware of not only the genuine schemes that it has for the people, but also it should alert the people about any such fake schemes that are prevailing in the market. Then sixth, single website for information related to all government schemes should be available, with mechanism for eligible individuals to apply then and there, and so that there can be no chance that any other person can actually fake it out, or can contact personally to any person who wants to apply for any particular government job. And then and there, it should be the government should monitor this entire process. So here there are the names of some other fraudulent schemes, and please make sure that you know these schemes, and you're not investing any of your personal data or money into these schemes, like the free laptop scheme, Pradhan Mantri Scooty Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Kanya Ashirwad Yojana. These are all fake schemes. Please be very aware of these schemes, and also be very careful while you're investing or finding out about any government schemes. Here I would like to give you one just a bonus point over here, that if you want to confirm about any scheme, that whether it is genuine or not, please try to find the information of that scheme on the PIB, that is Press Information Bureau. Basically, Press Information Bureau is the website of government that publishes or brings into the public domain any activity or major activity that has been done by the government. So if any scheme is launched by the government, any act is launched by the government or brought in by the government, so that actually is released through the PIB. So what you do is you just type the name of that scheme, and along with that also type Press Information Bureau. So if there is anything available on the official website of PIB, then you can understand that it is a genuine one. But if no information about that is available on the PIB, that is the Press Information Bureau website, then you can understand that there is something fishy about this particular scheme. Now let's see what do we have for news in flash today. First is Feluda. The Union Health Ministry has announced the rolling out of the Feluda paper strip test for SARS-CoV-2 diagnosis, which was developed by the Delhi-based CSIR Institute of Genomics and Integrated Biology. So this test is actually very quick and cheap as well. Now, as we know that there are various tests that are running for COVID-19, like the RT-PCR or the antigen test, for example. So Feluda is just like a paper strip test. You might have seen like basic, generally when we see the general basic pregnancy test kits. So in this also, it develops 2 lines if the person is COVID positive. So this test is expected to cost between rupees 500 to 600 and has shown 96% sensitivity and 98% specificity towards the test. Second, 2 more beaches bagged the blue flag tag. So recently, the Kazarkod and Padubidri beaches of Karnataka have bagged the blue flag tag. Now, this is a very important concept when it comes to ecotourism. So basically, this tag is a certification given by the Foundation for Environmental Education. This is based in Denmark, and it actually ensures the compliance of a set of standards to clean popular beaches. So basically, it is like a tag that is given to the beaches that ensures that this beach that has this tag is clean, has clean water, has various basic amenities and facilities, and also there are the environment or the atmosphere over there is really good. So the countries with the largest number of blue flag beaches are Turkey has 436 of them, Greece 395, Italy has 342, and India currently has 8 beaches, including these two from Karnataka. Thirdly, property card scheme. Now this is a genuine scheme, okay? So the Prime Minister Modi has launched the scheme under Swamitva. Swamitva basically means ownership, like Swami it means ownership scheme, which is aimed at providing property cards to every rural household across the country in the next 3 to 4 years. Over 1 lakh beneficiaries from Haryana, Karnataka, MP, Maharashtra, UP, and Uttarakhand were handed over the legal papers of their houses today. So this has actually, you can see, this is coming from the Ministry of Panchayati Raj, since obviously we know it's for the rural household. So the ministry that deals with it is Ministry of Panchayati Raj. So this was all for today. We hope it was a good session for you. Stay tuned with Law Seekho for such more sessions to come. Thank you so much.